So a few weeks ago, I declared a lack of spice in my romantic relationship for the sole reason that I wanted cuddles and wasn't getting them. Anyways, in honor of this phalange I call my beloved, I decided to share my version of how we met in stock photos. I saw John Cena do this with her spicy life story and thought to myself, this is a brilliant idea because all I can draw is an elephant butt. So how would anyone expect me to draw my relationship story? I don't know. So it all started in the fall of 2015 when I fifth wheeled on a date with my now beloved and, the devil. So he came up to me, said, "Hi, my name is Dan, okay, bye," because at the time he was dating a
Sneaky snack
who did not allow him to talk to any other female specimen. So I'm going to change all the names except the name of my beloved in this video for their safety and protection, okay? So flash forward, and Dan is living with one of my high school best friends, Eustace. Now, I used to go up to the school to see Eustace perform in an improv troupe, and I would laugh and laugh and laugh, and it was a grand old time. I loved it so much. Now, Eustace was dating my best friend, Tallulah. So I went up to stay at Eustace's apartment with Tallulah, watch a show, do whatever. I'd done this many times before, and every boy that lived in that apartment ignored me. I loved it. It was an unspoken agreement we had, and it worked very well. So this one time, I go up for the show, and who is there to talk to me but Dan? Daniel is there, Danny Yellow. And I think to myself,
go away.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't like it. Leave me alone. So he keeps talking and talking. Eventually, Tallulah says, "Would you like to leave and go find seats at the show?" And I say,
Yes.
so excited, I hop up right off the couch and I run to the door to leave and walk across campus to where the show is being held. So I'm sitting there with Tallulah. She's on the end, and the seat next to me is open. And who should walk in but Danny Yellow? He sees that the seat next to me is open, and he makes a beeline. He sprints over to me so fast and sits right down. And I didn't even know what to think. I was like,
Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Get the heck out of here.
and so we're watching the show. And so Dan keeps trying to talk to me in between skits. And I'm like,
Dude, shut up.
I just wanted nothing to do with it, you know? One of the sketches, they joke about cheating. And Tallulah, she makes a comment to Dan because that is how him and the Cookie Monster that he dated before me, that's how they broke up. Not by any fault of Danny Yellow's.
Obviously.
So Danny Yellow makes a big scene. He starts yelling and freaking out. And he's like, "I don't want Flexi to think that I'm a cheater." And I'm like,
Whoa, dude, sit back down. Like, we just met, basically. So, chill. It's not that deep.
and so we're watching the show some more. Finally it ends, and I'm relieved because it's my time to go home and get out of this situation. So I'm about to say goodbye to my friend Eustace, get in my car, and drive about 2 hours back to where I live and sleep in my humble abode. Danny Yellow and Tallulah are standing far enough away from me that they don't think I can hear, but close enough that
I actually can.
And Danny Yellow asks Tallulah if I'm spending the night, to which I freak out internally. Luckily, she says no, and he shrugs his shoulders and goes on his way. I think that is that, right? I say goodbye to Eustace, I get in my car, I go home, I sleep, everything's wonderful. Until I wake up the next morning and see a text on my phone from Tallulah who says, "Danny Yellow has been asking about you all night." So I texted her right back and I said,
Tell him to stop.
that was that. And then I went back to my own school and went about my own life for the next 3 days. In the midst of that, I was on crutches because instead of studying for my finals, I decided to learn the I Carlton dance because duh. But I gave myself shin splints so bad that I couldn't walk. So that was a time in my life. So anyway, I'm back at school for those 3 days or whatever, and then I go back home and I get a call from Tallulah who says there's a party on Friday and Danny Yellow would like you to be his date. On Friday, pals, I already had plans. I was supposed to be going to a concert, so I had bought the tickets, but I was going alone, and I didn't really want to do that. So I call one of my friends at school. We'll call her Eugenia. Now, I ask Eugenia what the hecking I should do. I tell her about this concert, I tell her about this boy, and I say, he freaks me out, I don't want to be around him, but I don't know what to do. And Eugenia, she has a brilliant idea. She tells me, Okay, well, you always talk about how you miss Eustace and Tallulahbelle. So I say you go to this party, you ditch Daniello, and just go hang out with Tallulahbelle the whole time. And I thought, wow, this is
A brilliant idea.
And so I agree, and I go up to this party, and I'm waiting outside the apartment where Daniello and Eustace live. And I text Tallulahbelle and tell her I'm there. And she goes, okay, well, Eustace and I are out at a dinner, and so only Daniello is home, but you can go right in. And I thought,
Heck no.
screw that, I will sit here in my car for however long it takes until you get here. But unfortunately for me, Daniello was watching out the window. He saw me pull in, and he came down, and he stood a very awkward distance away from my car, and we just stared at each other for a while. I wasn't totally sure it was him, and he wasn't totally sure it was me. Eventually, he figures it is me, and he comes over to my car, so I roll down the window, and he asks if I need any help carrying my stuff. I only had a pillow and a backpack, so I said no, because I'm a
Very capable woman, and I can carry a backpack and a pillow upstairs all by my own self.
And so Danielle says, oh, well, I was, just going to the store.
He was not going to the store, folks.
But he told me he was because he's a smooth criminal. And so he had to go to the store. So he walked down the street to a grocery store and he bought a pack of gum just so that he could say he bought something at the store. And while he was at the store, I made my way out of my car and up the stairs and into the living room of their apartment where I sat like a hermit and
Dreaded
the time where he was going to come back with whatever the hecking he bought at the store. So he came back and we talked and it was
so awkward, and I hated it.
but eventually, Eustace and Tallulahbelle came back and saved the day, and we all hung out for a little bit, and then we went to this party. It was Cinco de Mayo. Might I add, the Cinco de Mayo party was a birthday party for one of Dan's friends, who was the new boyfriend of his ex-girlfriend. And yes, this is the guy that she cheated with. So, there's that. And imagine my surprise when I found that out, because they had only been broken up for about a month or so. And so all eyes were going to be on me when I walked in because I was some random new girl that Daniela was bringing to a party for the first time ever. I tried so hard the whole time at that Cinco de Mayo party to ditch Daniela, but he was not having it.
Oh no.
He would not leave my side all night. Eventually, he asked me to stay another day, and I think my brain just broke down or something, like something fritzed out, and I said, okay. And we have been together ever since. That's the end. Okay, goodbye. If you didn't watch that MP4 file and go, what the heck did I just waste my time watching? I didn't do my job right, my guys.